Queer Up Trans Rights. Kansas Attorney General Kris Kobach attempts to block trans people from updating birth certificates. The Kansas Attorney General asked a federal judge on Friday to end a requirement that wants transgender people to update their birth certificates. Attorney General Kris Kobach, Republican, requested that the judge modify a 2019 consent judgment, arguing that the recently enacted Senate Bill 180 requires state officials to act in a way that would violate the judgment. The consent judgment was part of a previous lawsuit brought by 4 transgender Kansas residents over a state policy that barred them from obtaining updated birth certificates to match their gender identity. However, under SB 180, the state agencies and offices are required to identify people as either male or female at birth to comply with anti-discrimination laws and gather accurate data. The law, which was passed by Republican-controlled legislature over Democratic Governor Laura Kelly's veto in April, is set to go into effect next week. The American Civil Liberties Union, ACLU, of Kansas said on Friday that it condemns the request from the state's Attorney General. Lambda Legal, who filed the original lawsuit against the state over the birth certificate policy, also said on Saturday that it would not allow Kobuch to nullify a binding year-old federal judgment. More action in the South, more action in Kansas, more backlash, right, on all of these bills that are being passed. And so as I look at this, it's a continuation of our previous conversation, right? All of these moments are being challenged. Some of the governors are digging their heels and trying to move forward regardless of what decisions have been made. And there will continue to be, I think, backlash against them.
Mm. Well. Yeah, I agree. I don't know what else.
I was going to say, I don't want to say you speak for the entire trans community again.
Another moment.
But one of the things that I'm curious of is why are they attempting, forgive me in phraseology, to die on this hill? What is the big deal on the issue of birth certificates? This is relatively in a long period of time. Even the Trump administration was moving to passport identifications while Trump was president, of going, we don't care about this issue.
They're just pulling at straws.
And but also, let's just make them suffer. Let's just add to the already long laundry list of annoying red tape that trans people have to go through. Like, why does a birth certificate matter? I've got a social security card. Why do I need to? But
yeah, and Al's question is why are they willing to die on this? I think a couple of things. I think that this is the kind of transphobia, this is the kind of hate, right, that has some support, right? When Trump began his rhetoric of hate, and people came out of the woodworks and started to express their racism, their homophobia, and we saw, organizations actually, anti-Semitic statements. We saw people actually become emboldened, right, and come out of the woodworks and start to actually show their true colors. And so this is a continuation of that, right? These people have been emboldened, and now that they've been emboldened, there's no stopping them, right? So they're going to do whatever continuously that they can until the repercussions are enormous. Look at the people who in the insurrection, right? They're now having to face their own, fate. Right, they're having to look at this. They're being prosecuted and they're being, put into jail, and now they're facing consequences that I don't think they expected.
No. Right.
Right, they thought that they were going to be
privileged and entitled.
Exactly, the privilege, the entitlement, everything that was there. But they were like, how dare I go to jail? I've been emboldened. I've been instructed by the President of the United States that this is okay. So are they willing to die on this? Absolutely. Right? It's just a spark of a flame that started that really has no rationale, right? There's no reasonable thinking behind these people. They will continue.
I think, and it's really quick, I think also, it's a way of them saying, okay, you can get recognition, you can be accepted, you can be loved, but we're going to always maintain something of your gender at birth. We're always going to make you so that you can't forget or you can't move forward, because that's what they don't want to forget.
Right.
That's why dead naming exists. And that,
Yep.
That is the epitome definition, by the way, in my opinion, the epitome definition of hate.
Absolutely.
100%.
We are Queer News Tonight, the world's first and only live daily LGBTQ+ evening news show from Happening Out Television Network. In the model of PBS and NPR, we educate, inform, and entertain by supporting the 10 pillars of the LGBTQ+ community, with more than 100,000 a week watching on Roku, Apple Television, and other channels. To keep the stories going, we accept donations with 100% transparency. Stay updated and live authentically with Queer News Tonight.